Push class. This is the sixth and final question for your short answer exam review. Here we go. Explain the two compromises made at the Constitutional Convention of 1787. Explain the two compromises made at the Constitutional Convention of 1787. All right, to begin with, the convention was meant to revise the Articles of Confederation at first. This was not meant to write a whole new government. After they met at the Constitutional Convention, they said, you know what, we need to completely replace the Articles of Confederation, not just revise it. So here are a few terms to begin with. Great Compromise, revise the Articles of Confederation at first, New Jersey Plan, Virginia Plan, House of Representatives, Senate. The other terms that would be good to include are Three-Fifths Compromise, every 5 black slaves counted as 3 white voters, Southern States Advantage, House of Representatives, instead of abolishing slavery, more power to Southern states. All right. Sorry. All right. Okay. My calendar alert just alerted me to take care of some paperwork I needed to do, so excuse me. All right, back to our review. Question number 6 asks us to explain the two compromises made at the Constitutional Convention. The first compromise is the Great Compromise. All right, and instead of revising the Articles of Confederation at first, there was a compromise made between two plans, one coming from the state of New Jersey, one coming from the state of Virginia. The New Jersey plan said we need to have a government that sends a legislature that is equal in representation for all 13 states. All right? And any future states. One representative or the same amount of representatives for every state. That's the New Jersey plan. The Virginia plan says we need to have a legislature where if a state has more people living there, it should get more representatives. And if a state has less people living there, it should get less representatives. And so there's a fight between, a verbal fight, a political fight between people from small states like New Jersey at the time and big states like Virginia at the time. And so they come up with a compromise. They say we're going to have a little bit of both. We're going to have two parts to our legislature. We'll have a House of Representatives that gives more representation to big states with a lot of people, and we'll have a House of our legislature, the Senate, that gives equal or the same representation. And that's called the Great Compromise, sometimes called the Connecticut Compromise, but it's the Great Compromise, what I refer to it in our class. The other compromise made is called the Three-Fifths Compromise, and this, at the time, was not looked at as a racist compromise, but today it's very racist and wrong. It said Three-Fifths Compromise. It said every 5 black slaves that existed in a state would be counted as 3 white voters when it came to determining how many people should be represented. And this was made because at the time, there was a debate over whether or not slavery should even exist. And many southern states, more than northern states, wanted to keep slavery because they had more slaves and they depended upon it for a living. And so they wanted to count their black slaves as part of their representation in the new government. And so the southern states knew that if they did, they would have a huge advantage, a southern states advantage. Because by passing the Three-Fifths Compromise, they can say, we have 3/5 of people who are black slaves, and that makes us have more representation in the House of Representatives. And the government did this, the United States did this, instead of abolishing slavery, which gives more power to southern states in the House of Representatives. And the House of Representatives is in the Congress along with the Senate, and they can pass laws. and they can affect how the president takes action. And so the Three-Fifths Compromise and the Great Compromise are both the two compromises made at the Constitutional Convention. My phone's ringing, but I gotta go. Bye.